Hey guys, Angus here, bringing another Airsoft gun review today. Today we're going to be taking a look at a pretty cool product, a fairly new release to the Airsoft market, and also a product by one of my favorite companies, TSD Tactical. Now today we're going to be taking a look at a gun you've probably seen reviews of before. This is TSD's SD96, or their L96, whichever you prefer to call it. However, this is their version 2 of this rifle. They're pretty much the exact same thing, version 1 and version 2. However, the version 2 shown here has a metal trigger box inside its internals, which is a very nice addition there, as we'll see later on. So with that being said, a couple things before we get into the review. If you're interested in purchasing this gun, there is a link down below in the description to airsoftStation.com. You can purchase this gun for about $145. If you want to take $5 off, be sure to use coupon code DEATHCORE listed in the description below as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into the review of the TSD Tactical SD96 version 2. Now to start off this review, let's talk about what comes with the gun. When you first get the gun, this is the box it will come in. There's really nothing changed from the version 2 and version 1 box if you owned the version 1. Same exact box, a little bit flashy, TSD logo, SD96B, picture of the rifle. There are some specs on here. I found those specs to be rather accurate, so TSD definitely did a good job actually chronoing the gun, unlike some other companies. The box top is cardboard, really nothing special, and when you remove it, this is what you should see, with the exception that it'll probably be a bit more organized and the gun will actually be in there in two pieces. This gun does require some assembly when you get it. It's just a styrofoam box, should keep the gun in there, packaged fairly well. I doubt it'll be damaged during shipping. And inside the box, you do have your TSD SD96B L96 instruction manual. This is a pretty short and concise manual. Tells you the usual stuff, really nothing extra, but it is a decent manual nonetheless. You'll get a decent quality sling. The material the sling itself is made of is pretty good quality, and the connectors on the sling are metal, and they are decent, so they should be able to support the weight of the L96. There will be a small bag of maybe 200 TSD 0.2 gram BBs. These are great BBs. Go ahead, use them all you want. Then you'll get a small plastic bag inside the box containing your standard 90 round speed loader, as well as a special speed loader tip that allows you to load the L96 style magazines much easier. And inside that same bag you will also get 3 different sizes of Allen key. Then you'll get a rather long dejamming rod. Not one, but 2 25 round L96 style magazines. As I said, you will not only get the one shown here, you will also get 1 spare magazine. And then as an added bonus from TSD, you will also get a JBU 40 times magnification scope, as well as 2 metal scope rings in order to mount it. Those will be contained inside the white box. And of course, your TSD SD96 bolt action airsoft sniper rifle version 2 itself. One thing I do want to point out before getting into the actual review is that the bipod is not included. I put that there to hold the rifle up while I review it. Not included with the gun, but you can purchase it separately. It's just a UTG low profile bipod, 20 bucks if you really wanted it. Anyway, jumping right into the review of the TSD SD96 version 2. The gun's external quality is fantastic. I've handled quite a few L96s in my time, and this one, it just feels a lot nicer than the other ones. It's better quality, it's more solid, the paint job on it is fantastic. I've never been a big fan of tan colored guns, but this definitely looks nice on the L96. The paint is great. Just so you know, you can clearly see this one's tan, but if you are interested in purchasing the gun in either the black or OD green colorings, you can purchase them as well at AirsoftStation.com. I just happened to get the tan one sent out to me for review. Now going on with the external quality of the gun, the low receiver here, if that's what you want to call it, it's mainly just the body of the rifle. That is composed of rather sturdy, solid, hard plastic. Maybe some form of polymer or ABS plastic component, but it is plastic, and like I said, it is a rather solid, good quality there. The whole upper receiver, if you wanted to call it that, is made of metal. Your outer barrel is metal, your RAS rail's metal, the included scope and scope rings are metal, your whole bolt assembly is metal, and getting a little bit into the internals here, originally a con of the TSD L96 was that it had a plastic trigger box, and those would always break on people. They'd have to spend a while trying to find one to replace it. TSD, got rid of that. They just swapped out the whole, plastic trigger box, and in the version 2 it does come with a metal trigger box, which is a very nice addition. You don't have to worry about that plastic trigger box crapping out on you anymore. You get a nice metal trigger box in there. Going on with continuous external quality, on the actual plastic body you have a couple metal pieces, the screws holding the gun together those are metal. The tri-rail, which is included with the gun, is metal as well, as are your front sling mounts and your rear sling mounts. The cheek rest is plastic, as is part of your buttstock. The other back end of your buttstock is constructed of a hard rubber. Also, the included magazines, the top portion is plastic and the bottom portion of them is metal, which I thought was rather surprising to get a nice metal magazine with this gun. Going along with the magazines, might as well talk about that first. The magazine well on the L96 is a reason some people don't like them. This kind of annoys me, frankly. The magazine goes up here. It goes up here on the gun, as opposed to the Rio rifle where it would go back here. And the reason for that is because on the bolt action, the spring models, you have to have somewhere to put the spring, and the spring goes in here so that you can actually fire the rifle at a good velocity. This one's shooting 470 FPS right out of the box. You'll notice on some of your gas models, you get the magazine back here, as well as I believe the Marui L96 has the magazine back here as well. So if you're into realism, the magazine realism placing on the gun, it's not realistic as it goes farther up on the barrel. But the magazines do get ejected via spring, simply pushing a button, and they spring eject like so. Didn't mean to drop it there. As you can see, you heard a nice clank there because the magazines are composed of metal. Now, as I was talking earlier about the special speed loader tip to load the magazines, that's required because, as you can see, when I push this down, it's this strange looking lip of the magazine. And the normal speed loader, it'll get one in there, but the rest of them will just all drop out. So the speed loader tip corrals the BBs into going down into the magazine. As I mentioned earlier, these hold 22 to 25 rounds. You know, the box says 22 rounds, however, I'd say they hold 25 to 30 rounds even. I didn't have any feeding issues with these. Just load them up with good quality BBs and you'll be good to go. Being this is a sniper rifle, I would recommend you go ahead and load up .28s or .3s in here for premium accuracy. But the magazines, they are pretty good quality, and as a bonus of TSD, you do get 2 magazines, which is great. You already have 60 rounds in your arsenal to shoot out, which doesn't seem like a lot before a sniper rifle. Trust me, it is a good amount to have with you. Now, going along with some extra bonuses from TSD, they do include a nice JBU 40 times magnification scope, and that's one of the main reasons I like TSD so much. They include, great bonuses with their products for roughly the same price they would cost to just buy the normal rifle being sold by another company. So in this case, being that it is a sniper rifle, they're nice and they give you the nice JBU 40 times magnification rifle scope as well as the metal scope rings to mount it. The scope is very good quality. It does come with lens covers, just in case you're wondering. I took them off for the review. They're in the box. And it's very clear when you look through it. It's not a crappy scope at all. They really give you a nice quality scope with this gun, as they do with pretty much all their sniper rifles. The JBU does make a great quality scope. Going along with that, the scope is of course mounted on top of the gun's metal 20mm rail. The rail's real only purpose is to mount the scope, and should you want to put an optic on here, it should be an actual scope. Please don't put a red dot on the sniper rifle. This is not Call of Duty. It's not meant to go up there. A scope, they give you the scope, it's meant to go up there, and it's great they give you that so you don't have to spend the extra money to buy another scope. Going along with some other customization options, you do have the tri-rail, which is metal and is included with the gun when you purchase it from TSD. This allows you to put whatever you want on there. As you can see, I have the bottom rail covered up with the bipod, which naturally would be the most practical thing to put on the rifle. And you do have the other 2 side rails, which I suppose you could mount maybe, a laser or a flashlight, although I have tried that and it's not really practical because if anything it gives away your position more, which you don't exactly want as a sniper. But you do get the tri-rail, does give you a little bit of customization, which is always a plus. If you don't want to mount your bipod on here, the gun does have a QD bipod mount located just behind the tri-rail setting there, so if you had a QD bipod, it could fit on here as well, but it's much easier just to go ahead and go with your normal 20mm bipod. Now, a major feature of this bolt-action sniper rifle would, of course, be its bolt. This being a bolt-action spring-powered rifle, you do need to cock the bolt back each time you wish to fire the gun. It's not semi-automatic. It's a bolt-action rifle. Now, in order to cock the bolt back, you simply got to pull it back, push it forward, and slap it down. The bolt's surprisingly easy to pull, being that it is pulling back that high-powered spring that allows the gun to shoot 470 FPS right out of the box. Part of the reason for that being that TSD did a great job lubing it, And the lube they used, it isn't that ugly black grease that gets all over your hands. It's a pretty good clear lubricant they used on there. So you just pull it back, push forward, push down, and you can fire the gun. It does pull back rather easy, as I stated, like so. So the bolt on the gun, very nice, very easy to pull for pulling that high-powered spring. Located just behind the bolt is your gun's safety switch. I'm going to slightly turn the gun so you can see it. It is located just behind the bolt as you'd usually have it. When the red dot is exposed, naturally the trigger can be pulled. However, if you were to switch the safety switch so that it covers the red dot, and hear that click, the gun is on safety and the trigger cannot be pulled like so. The bolt can be pulled back and cocked forward. However, you cannot pull the trigger. If you were to switch it off safety, you can pull the trigger. Safety is nice to have right there so you can quickly switch it on when the game is done. Now just getting into some final notes here, some smaller features. You do have two sling mounts, front and rear, and they're actually on both sides of the gun, left and right, so you can sling it on either side. I would recommend you put a sling on this rifle, being that if you're sniping, you want to be able to sling this over your back, pull out your sidearm if you have to, and get out of that situation. So the sling mounts on the gun, they are metal, they work fine. The sling that is included, it's decent quality, you can go ahead and use it. Just in case you're wondering, the gun weighs around probably 11 pounds. It does have a little bit of heft to it, as the L96s always do. A couple other notes here, you do get the cheek rest. It is plastic. It's fairly comfortable, but being it's hard plastic, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. The butt of the stock is textured so that it grips your shoulder a slight bit better. It's a nice butt stock. Like I said, it's hard rubber, and again, it's there for the comfort of the user, which it does provide a little bit more comfort than a hard plastic stock. And really, with that being said, there's only one last thing I want to talk about, that being the orange tip on the gun. This one's actually not painted on. You could probably break it off using a pair of pliers or whatever you'd normally use to snap it off. I always use pliers. And it'll probably, I don't think it'll reveal threading, but it will come off if you wanted to. Anyway, that's really it for the review of the TSD SD96 version 2. Final conclusion here being that it's a nice sniper rifle out of the box. In my opinion, you can never go wrong with TSD, being that they include so much nice stuff with the gun for a great price. If you're a beginner looking to get a sniper rifle, even if you're intermediate, even if you're an expert, this would still be a good rifle to pick up. It's at a fairly cheap price of $145 with the scope included, with the tri-rail included, with the scope rings included, with 2 mags included at airsoftstation.com. $145, that's a steal in my opinion. Sniping's kind of become a big thing in airsoft, mainly because of the video games out there, and really, it does take skill, and I'm going to tell you that right now. It's not as easy as people think it is, where you go out, you raise the scope, and you pull the trigger. It doesn't work like that. So if you're thinking about getting a sniper rifle purely based on, oh, I'm going to go out there and hit everybody, I really would not recommend that. I'd recommend this for somebody who wants to take the time, have a nice gun, a nice sniper rifle they can upgrade, or just have it good out of the box and they actually want to be a good sniper rifle, good sniper in a game. Pardon me for that mistake there. Really great gun out of the box, nice scope it comes with, nice metal scope rings. The tri-rail allows you to mount the bipod when you purchase that separately. And if tan's not your color, TSD makes it in OD green and black as well. So with that being said, guys, this has been Deathcore Airsoft's review of the TSD SD96 Bolt Action Airsoft Sniper Rifle version 2 with the metal trigger box. Very nice addition to the internals of the rifle. Want to purchase it? Pick it up at airsoftstation.com for $145. Thank you to Airsoft Station and TSD Tactical for sending me this gun to review. And please subscribe, guys. I do hope you like this gun review.